So here we are at Cocina Madrigal with DaDadoh, aka Brian.
Oh, what's happening?
Here we are hanging out, checking it out, and we're gonna do a little bit of a food review slash hangout slash podcast slash vlogcast, whatever you want to call it. So I'm excited. I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Of course, of course. So tell me what's new in your musical life with all the quarantine stuff going on. Are you partaking in that, making music from home type thing, or are you? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely producing a lot of music right now. I'm working on 2 projects of my own. I got my other group that I work with. I produce and write music for Spicy Mayo.
Spicy Mayo.
We've been working on that album for like 13 months.
Wow.
So that one's been a lot of fun. Nice. A lot of cool people involved in that. But yeah. I just released my first single, Wasting Time.
Very nice, very good.
Which is all about 2020.
And we're gonna make sure we put links to all this down below so you can check out all his music.
Yes, definitely just loving life and staying creative and enjoying good food.
That's awesome. That's what it's all about. So how did you find out about this place?
That's a good question.
Because this is like middle of nowhere. I'm not middle of nowhere, but kind of like off the beaten path. You know, this is a place you wouldn't normally find.
Yeah, you know what? I think, to be completely honest, I heard about this place in the New Times.
Okay.
And I really like seafood.
Yeah.
I'm a big seafood
I like
person.
seafood too. That's one of the rare times like you ordered something, I'm just like, I'll have what he's having.
Yeah.
I don't do that very often, but it was like good salmon. All right.
And I hear good things about everything else on the menu, but I saw a picture of the dish that we about to get.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's what I want.
Hell yeah.
And I've tried to recreate it at home too, but
it always ends up blowing up.
it's
melting.
not quite the same.
You try to do salmon at home, I don't know.
Yeah, no. Salmon at home is never restaurant salmon.
It's crazy. Well, I feel like I had some questions for you. Let me think.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Eric Cartman a little bit. Let's talk about one thing I actually wanted to ask you specifically was looking at the music video for that in particular. You have a love for cartoons, and I wanted to ask you, what do you think is like the most punk cartoon aside from South Park?
Ooh, the most punk cartoon. That's the Boondocks, right?
Okay.
That's
Good choice.
I mean, because punk's always had its foot somewhat in political aspirations, which is kind of funny, right?
It's true.
But
Yep.
but it's that everything you aren't is everything you are type of vibe.
That's exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say Boondocks. They definitely love to touch on a lot of social taboos.
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy.
Like beautiful classic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We wouldn't have SpongeBob without Ren and Stimpy.
This is true. Was it one of the same artists came over from Ren and Stimpy, or am I mistaken?
No, you're definitely mistaken. But that's what I'm saying. It's so influenced.
Influential?
It's like heavily influenced that. But maybe because
Well, I know one of the dudes who worked on SpongeBob went off to be some like I saw him on Rogan. He went off to be some like high-profile artist, and he's like selling his stuff for like hundreds of thousands of dollars now.
Wow.
And he started out like on SpongeBob, so maybe that's what I was thinking of.
That's cool. Yeah.
Cow and Chicken? Remember Cow and Chicken?
Oh, hell yeah, Cow and Chicken. Cat Dog. What?
Cat Dog was amazing.
I mean, even cartoons are kind of like cheeseburgers. Like even the crappiest one is still good. Like
Exactly.
a 12-ounce mouse or like a
Exactly.
not to say that 12-ounce mouse is crappy, but
I know what you
there's
mean.
not a lot of animation going on there, but it's
Yeah.
still good.
Mhm.
It's just like you could, even the worst one's good.
That's awesome. So if you could have anybody like on an active TV show right now animate a music video for you, who would you go to? Like what team, like what show's team would you go to?
That's so good.
Our special guests have arrived.
That's like whose animation style am I super in love with right now?
Hey.
All right.
Now we get the party started. Thank you so much. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You guys anything else for now? Any appetizers?
rocking,
I'm good to
bro.
ask you.
No, this is great.
Okay?
I'm okay for now, yeah. Thank you
you.
very much.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, man, I mean, it's a lot of great. You know what I would do?
What?
Okay, have you ever seen? That's actually a really good question. I never thought about it. But
Cheers,
I
by the
do
way.
know the answer. Absolutely, cheers. Hey.
To good health and music.
You ever seen the triplets of Bellevue?
No, I'm not familiar.
And it's like a really dope animation style.
Triplets of Bellevue?
The Triplets of Bellevue.
Okay. To look it up.
Who's the guy? Chromat. He's like a French animator.
Okay.
And the first time I ever saw him was at Simpsons Couch Game. You know how they were like handing those off?
Yeah.
And it just struck me so intently. I mean, I might because I was on acid when I seen it, but like
it might have
I was like, who drew this? You know what I mean? I've never seen this before in my life.
Yeah.
And I found out he had he had like 2 films, animated films. It's kind of like a Wallace and Gromit, where it's like
almost like stop motion or claymation?
It's not stop motion.
Okay.
Or it is.
I'm really regretting not bringing sunglasses at this point.
I think it might be actually stop motion.
Okay. That's a really cool style.
That's
a really cool style.
Yeah.
Like that Frankenweenie style, like that
Is it? I kind of want to. I think it's hand drawn. I think it's actually just hand. But it just the liveliness. You can just tell that human touch.
Yeah.
That kind of misses from like animated stuff now. Even though I love CGI and 3D stuff, but like that, nothing like
a little more heart to it.
So Chromat, the Triplets of Bellevue. That's who I would get to do like an animated music video without a doubt.
That's awesome. So when it comes to like making music videos, how involved are you in it? Is it like 100% you? Are you like directing stuff? Are you writing everything out? Are you like do you relegate duties to other people? Like
before this new project, I was too involved.
Okay. So I could definitely see you being like mastermind behind it and being like, no, like this, like this. Yes. Not in a bad way, but just, I feel like
it is in a bad way.
I feel like you're very confident in your style, you know?
Yes, no,
so
for
it's
sure.
Like, yeah.
I have a very. Sometimes when I have such a very particular vision, and I know it's gonna like connect with somebody.
Yeah.
It's gonna be strong. I want to like. I can't let distract. I'm very much blinded, and like. I get hard to work with when I'm like working on stuff like that because I'm just, I'm kind of a tyrant when it comes to being creative, for sure, which is not the best to working with. I've learned compassion and empathy and apathy in the last 3 years of being in the POC.
And if not, at least you can fake it. Right?
No, like being around those guys really like grounded me. And
how did that start? How did that relationship with POC start? Like,
do you know what it is? I've been in 10 bands, 10 plus bands, right?
Okay.
And I hate to keep saying this, but this is really my motto, is that I know everything that doesn't work.
Okay.
I was in this band called Action Crispy, and we had a song called Not In My Band. It was just all about what we don't do in our bands.
Okay.
And it was, obviously, it was a little exaggerated here and there.
Yeah.
but
was that almost kind of like setting rules, sort of? Like.
Yeah, it was like, because I've been in a bunch of bands, and obviously bands are like marriage, so it's like, there's the things you like, there's things you hate, there's things you bring with you to the next one, there's things you leave in the past, So after 10 plus bands, like I knew exactly the type of band that I wanted to make.
Yeah. Did you recruit people, or was it like, just kind of you already knew people and were like, hey, let's jam, or was it like you selected people and called them and was like, hey, I want you?
There's been 3 technical versions of it. There was a version where we had 1 practice and then I said, yep, no, this is never happening again.
Okay.
And then there was a second version that went on for a year, and as much as I loved that band, that version of that band, I knew that the people at that time that were in that band, they just, they needed to do what they wanted to do. And it's like, for me, it's no hard feelings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I knew that we had built a lot of buzz. And it's funny because I literally didn't have a band and I was booking shows. But I knew, it was almost like Cosmo. It's like, you build it. They would come. Yeah. And I had built it, whether it was You Can't Rap Forever, and I knew that I was saving my money to record a full length.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't want to be a part of that?
Exactly.
I mean,
that's the way. That's the
that sounds
mentality.
Super
No.
Crazy.
I get it.
When you put in the work, it doesn't matter about talent. I hate to say that too, but there are way better guitar players, there are way better songwriters, performers, way handsome people. But it's like I'm gonna outwork all those people.
Yeah. And you got charisma.
I guess.
I'm telling you, I've seen this guy live. Amazing. Like the energy you brought to the stage.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Like literally, we were in the Rebel Lounge, sitting there having a drink, hanging out, and then you came on. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? It was literally just like blew the doors off the place.
Yeah.
You did really good live show, man. Really
Thank you.
good.
Thank you. I love the Rebel Lounge. They've been so great to me. Even though I may say everything I say in jest, it's just jest.
Of course.
And I think they know that.
Speak freely. Yeah.
They know that.
Yeah.
But that's what I do. People I love, my family. I'm gonna always joke with you. That lets you know I know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I remember when you was nobody, right?
Yeah.
And they gonna remember me when I was nobody, for real. I'm just lucky to be working with them, working with Steve.
Yeah.
On occasions and stuff like that.
Shout out to Psycho Steve.
For real. You know.
One thing like I said, I respect about him is he was always floating around at all the venues. So you'd see him at Crescent a lot. You'd see him at Rebel Lounge. You'd see him at Valley once in a while. Like he's always kind of hopping around, you know.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember who we were, but he's always there. You know?
Yeah, you know. And people are like, well, how, you know, what's the? Tell me, how do you get on? How do you do this?
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, you just go to shows, man.
Yeah.
You just go to shows. You tell people. I mean, honestly, you don't tell anything. I probably spent a year or two just supporting people. You know.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh wait, you make music? Would you like to open? Would you like to close?
That's cool.
And that's just how it's supposed to start. Like,
That's cool. Very organic. I know it's kind of overused, but it is. It's like it's got to be kind of natural. You know?
Yeah, this is I'm going my 8th year being DaDadoh. And
It's exciting. How did that originate? How did
Sorry
Brian?
to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
Okay?
Yeah, we're
We
just
should be up shortly.
Oh, we love it.
Okay, great.
cool.
Be back.
Thank you so much. So how did Brian turn into DaDadoh?
The complete truth of that is I really loved Wiz Khalifa in 2014.
Wiz Khalifa had some great stuff.
He was on fire.
Yeah.
And he said, follow me on Twitter. And then I was listening to a Cameron song, and he was like, DaDadoh in the song. And I was like, that's my screen name on Twitter.
That's very cool.
And that's literally where the name came up in that moment. Cause I don't know, I think he had some kind of context. He's like, follow me on Twitter and I'm gonna give you a pre-roll or something. I was like,
Yeah?
I'm following this motherfucker. I'm about to start a whole Twitter account.
just cause.
just to smoke some Khalifa Kush.
That's awesome. So that's a good origin. I feel like it's comes from a good place. Like you're a fan, you know?
Yeah, and I always used to produce for rappers.
Yeah.
And
Do you still do that or no? Or you do it more so for yourself?
yeah, I haven't. No, I still make a beat and I still write a song with somebody if you know I feel like they really about it. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and somebody needed a hook. They needed somebody to sing a hook or
Gotcha.
you know. And I've always been in the band, like I said, so
Yeah.
I jumped on there and he called me DaDadoh on the song, and I was like, that was it.
That's awesome.
That was like the first one, yeah.
Did it feel good having that credit for the first time? You're like, I created this. Like,
You know what? No.
no?
Because to me, I was like, no one's ever gonna hear this. Like,
Okay.
you know, because that's what we were like making this in a bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, which it doesn't matter where you make music. I want to point that out too, because look at Billie Eilish, look at you know the greats, any of the greats. Like they all. I think it's weird when people are like you have to use this program or you have to go to these studios, and that's not how you do it, man. You do it. You do what you got. For real.
Well, there's some albums like, you know about Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska?
The new one.
No, the one
Okay.
it was one he did in like I think 86 or 87. I want to say 86, and he had just come off Born in the USA, which was like this gigantic masterpiece,
All right,
you know.
don't interrupt again.
Sure.
Not ready. Anybody want to play?
Oh my God, it looks amazing. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Bless you.
Oh my God, it looks so good. James, say hello.
Hello.
Wow, that looks amazing. Food porn.
That was like the best piece of avocado I've ever tasted. Just a piece of avocado.
All right, so this food, we were just saying, you would never expect it in a million years. 10 out of 10, dude. This is so good. And like you were saying, when's the last time you had mashed potatoes with your Mexican food? This is wild, man. Like this is like such tender, delicious salmon, mashed potatoes, this green salsa verde sauce, and then these amazing grilled shrimp. Oh my God, dude, 10 out of 10. It's like talk about your lobster in an alley. I wanna hear about it.
Okay. Here's the thing. I recently had lobster in an alley in Las Vegas, and I didn't realize that I was doing this until after I was eating it.
Yeah.
And I started looking around, and I was like, man, this is so delicious. It was like tempura fried lobster.
Oh. Sounds so good.
Yes, yes. It actually came with shrimp too, right?
Yeah.
But that whole stigma about seafood, where is it fresh, where is it good? Nah. This right here is a testament to you can get really good seafood any time of day.
Exactly.
Don't sleep on it.
Thank God for that refrigeration.
I want to shout out to your Bay review.
Thank you.
That's a prime example of that as well.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to go, man. 'Cause that's like a place where it's just like same kind of thing. You'd never guess.
Yes.
And then you go on and you're like, holy shit, where'd this come from? Yeah.
I frequent June. Shout out to David, my drummer. He actually works at June.
Oh, cool.
And it's literally like a quarter mile from my house. I can walk to it.
Okay. Which can be good and can be dangerous, right?
Isn't that the truth? I live in Tempe, so at the corner of Broadway and Rule, so like
Lots of good stuff.
That's like that zip code is killing the wallet.
Like you said, I don't know how they do it.
I don't know how to do it either.
The outside here, crispy, flaky.
Yes.
Inside, incredibly soft, like melts, just like so good.
Like I would never eat chicken again if I could have this all the time.
Oh man, if this was like readily available, oh yeah.
So far, so okay?
Oh.
I didn't even see you. I was in such a
I know. I came to say.
tunnel vision love. Yeah, no, it's really good. Thank you.
Perfect. Anything else I can swing by?
Rock and roll.
Like we're okay. Thank you.
That's so hot.
It's got like that pico. Dude, that was so good. Okay, so we, as we were saying before we dove headfirst into our plates, which, dude, that food was so good. I was talking about Bruce Springsteen. Yes, born in the USA. He had this giant album in '85. And then in '86, he comes out with this real bare bones, simplistic album that he records on like a 4-track recorder. And people are like, what's this? And it's like just him on his own, like layering things. And now people look back and are like, brilliant, like amazing. But back in the day, it was like not well received. You know?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? Like going from huge production, giant, #1 selling album to just being like, I'm gonna get a little 4-track recorder and like do it in, in my tour bus.
I love creative, like just being that free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you'll have somebody like a Lil Wayne or like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
For a great example right now.
Yeah.
When you notice he hasn't released any music?
It's been a long time.
Because his label will not allow him to release music.
Why is that?
Because the only thing, and I don't know, TDE, Top Dog Entertainment is his label. They don't make money from his streams. He makes that money.
Oh, so they're getting greedy.
They make money from him touring.
Oh, okay.
That's their agreement, right?
Okay.
So if they can't get any money from him touring, there's no point in him putting music out.
Yeah. Okay, so we moved because it was getting super noisy in the back. There was like someone like, I don't know, cleaning out an engine or something, and fucking, I don't know, there's a lot of noise back there. So we moved up front. Still a little bit of street noise, but a little bit better. So yeah, basically we were talking about less is more in the recording process and creative freedom.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, and this might be a little controversial for some people right now, but I think I'd really like to hear your opinion on it. So the whole Marilyn Manson thing right now, how he's being, I guess you'd call it Me Too'd for apparent or alleged abuse from his past relationships. How do you feel about, not necessarily that, because I know we're obviously against that if it's true.
Absolutely.
But like, at what point do we separate the artist from their art? Like, it's like him, dude, so many musicians and rappers, like, through the years have been accused of stuff or actually done stuff. At what point do we keep listening to their music and enjoy it when all these other people are saying, oh, they're bad, so erase them from history? How do we, what are your thoughts on that? How do we move forward?
That's definitely, that's a lot definitely to unpack. I think that obviously it's important that people have a voice, right?
Yeah.
And I think that there is to some degree a separation of what an artist does on stage and then what an artist has done in their personal life.
Yeah.
And there are artists where there is no difference, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Eminem is Eminem.
Yep.
We know his mom. We know, you know what I mean?
Marshall Mathers.
Right. You know what I mean? So if he says like something that, or does something that is detrimental to society and like moving forward as people, then yeah, we need to not give him a platform.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't change anything he does. Here's something that I wonder, right? In a situation where it's like one man did something bad, right? What about the other members of the band, right?
Great point.
Now, when you have a situation where it's like Marilyn Manson, of course, Marilyn Manson. He's the brand. It's like Mickey Mouse, you know, he's the brand. But
he's a lot like Mickey Mouse.
Something that I find that's difficult to kind of truly define, because I kind of have an emo background.
Yeah.
Jesse Lacey and Brand New.
Yep.
I do emo nights.
Oh yeah.
Where I DJ and play music from that time period.
Cool.
Great party. Always sold out.
Always fun.
Good time.
I've been to an emo night at Rebel, so those are fun.
And it's only about positivity and all coming together and sharing this shared love for emotional music, right?
Yeah.
So from a certain time. But I've played brand new music and had women approach me and said, you know, hey, I don't like this.
Yeah.
You know? And thank you so much, Bobby.
No worries.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you.
At one point, you gotta ask yourself. Right here for me. At what?
Anything else? Sorry.
Oh, we're
Are
good.
you fine?
Yeah, thank you so much.
At one point, you gotta ask yourself, what about the other guys that was in the band?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, it is his voice, it is his lyrics.
Yeah.
But man, I don't listen to bands just for one guy's opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. That's not what I'm into. I'm into how great this drummer is going in and how great this arrangement feels. I got done listening to it.
Yeah.
I'm not into, but that's just me, and I get it. Some people can't separate that.
Yeah.
And we gotta respect that too. But I find that a very hard line.
Yeah.
To really draw, because I love the music. I love Brand New's music.
Yeah.
Music, like listen to some of those lyrics now.
Yeah.
I think it's cool personally, because you get to. It's not like he was ever lying. If you ever listen to the stuff, you know what I mean.
And arguably, same with Manson.
Right. Okay. And that's.
The thing with Manson is we don't know yet. It's like, and anyone getting mad at me in the comments or whatever. It's like, okay, but you know, let's wait until there's like a trial or like some proof or something like that. Because also, you know, Evan Rachel Wood's coming out like 15 years later, so it's kind of like, what's going on, you know? But I don't know. I don't know the whole story, so I can't say.
Yeah.
But I do think there is a time where we should be able to separate music from musician, you know, or you know, movie from actor or director.
I think we as people are now trying to decipher what we're not about. This whole thing, I just feel like that's just really been the whole motive, and the theme of the 2020s.
Yeah.
Before we even get 8 more years, I'm going to tell you, this is going to be the time where we've decided what we were not about for anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've been so complacent in a lot of things. And I love to see that, because some people say the world's going to end, right?
Yeah.
Extremists and shit.
Yeah.
I hope it does. I hope that world does end.
Yeah.
I hope there isn't going to be a new world,
you
know, where people can come out and have dope ass fucking salmon, and it ain't about nothing other than good times and whatever, you know, and not petty, stupid things.
Yeah, it's all about salmon and good times.
And so when people are whether it's Bill Cosby or whether it's Aziz Ansari, even though those are two different stories and two different scenarios,
good examples though.
It's good to show what we not about anymore.
Exactly.
Because I think a lot of that stuff was great. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I think these are very important conversations to have. So I'm glad you asked me.
Yeah.
You know, I found out in the last 5 to 10 years that drinking, you know, if somebody's inebriated, and that's considered to be a crime. You know, if you take advantage of them or whatever, you know. But truth be told, there was a time in America that was celebrated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And time does change. I mean, hangings were celebrated. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And we need to be allowed.
Yeah, people would go like gather and like make it like a picnic.
A lynching. There's a place called Lynchburg.
What the fuck was wrong with people?
There's several places called Lynchburg.
That's so weird, man. It's like, I think there's something really barbaric about that in the past when people would be like, oh, let's go watch The Hanging, honey.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
let's take the kids.
I love people like, come, let's go to this, have you been to the plantation? I'm like, I'm sorry, what? The what? You mean the farm?
Yeah. Like,
there's a difference between a farm,
and a
ranch,
plantation,
and a plantation.
Yeah, I think those are whole different worlds, man.
And so, yes, when we do look back, we do see a lot of things we're like, what the f are we thinking?
Yeah.
But also, let us, have that opportunity to grow.
Yeah. And we saw that a lot with 20th century, too. I know there's a lot of girls, especially, no offense, ladies, but I feel like there's a lot of young girls they talk to, and they just think that the whole 20th century was all bad. It's like, I was talking to this one girl recently, and she's like, oh, it was a terrible time for women and women's rights. I'm like, okay, in the early part, but look at how much things changed from 1910 to 1990. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's like, you can't label it as all bad. And I think that's what a lot of people tend to do, but it's like, look at the progress. Talk about the progress, talk about the good things. And I think people have blinders on to the good stuff, Sometimes.
I agree.
Hey,
Sorry.
it's okay.
I think we have
You
to
can pause
get
it.
this separate.
All right, so let's talk about music videos.
Yes. I've had the misfortune of taking a little bit too more hands-on of approach when making videos. My first video, Do It, I just had this crazy concept where, being not from Phoenix, I wanted to play on that whole idea of, what if I was in a witness protection?
Yeah.
And what if I made up a fake name and this whole persona and sold out like my homies that was in crime for me just so I could become a rapper, right?
Yeah.
And then, that was like 2015, 2016 I did this video, and then you got, 3 years later, 6ix9ine comes out where he rats out all his friends and becomes this famous rapper. And then my second video after that was Lonesome. It's a black and white video that eventually turns into color, and it's got like all of this like what's real, what isn't real vibe, and WandaVision. I don't know if you've seen that recently.
Yeah, we watched WandaVision, yeah.
Yes, there's this whole black and white to color vibe, and what's fake, what's real, who can you trust. And those two videos were based on like a quadrilogy. I hate to say that word. Where each of the videos would kind of all tie in together. And yeah, look, it just goes over people's heads. They just want to see you mouth out the words in a video to a dope song. And
it's interesting how some artists, it's like you see like real basic, like they're just like, here, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna lip sync, I'm gonna do my thing, I'm gonna leave. And there's other ones where it's like you can tell there's that artistic energy put into it, and they actually care about some kind of story or style or something that goes a little beyond the music,
Because I honestly hate music videos. I hate shooting music videos.
Yeah.
I've been in other people's music videos. I've been in my own music videos. It's just not really a fun time for me.
Yeah.
I don't like enjoy it by no means at all.
Tedious.
Yeah, and it's never like a quick thing. It's like, and you're trying to. It's already getting people to shows and stuff. And then you get people to come to music. It's like it's just an extra thing, right?
Yeah.
So, and then if I do it, I want it to be really good. So, I'm just really finding that balance now.
Yeah.
We're wasting time. That single comes out at the end of February 26th. But I did release it early on Bandcamp.
Check it out.
Accidentally.
Accidentally?
Yeah, I really did.
Okay.
I hate to.
All right.
I was so embarrassed when I did it. And I was just like, oh, pre-order. And I was like, no, I published it.
Whoops.
But I thought that was cool because there were people that really was like, I'm pre-ordered, I'm gonna buy it.
Cool.
Like,
pretty well received?
Yeah, it's been well received. I do want to say this, and this is something that I really have been that I kind of didn't understand until recently, is that I've wrote a lot of songs about me. So a lot of this next album, Hooligans, is gonna be half me and then half other people.
Okay.
That I've known, and other people that I've have experiences with. Okay. And stuff like that. But the problem with that is when you're writing a song in someone else's perspective, when you're the face and the voice,
they think it's all you.
They think it's you.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of the struggle.
Thank you.
I'm figuring out right now with wasting time. Because wasting time is like, It's a hardcore, like, negative in your face song.
Yeah.
And
you don't want it to be all reflected on you, kind of thing.
But if that makes people not be like the character that I wrote about, then I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But it's one of those things you're not thinking about. You're like, oh, I'm gonna write about a character who's like, everybody can relate to somebody who's a waste of time and somebody who's just BSing you and somebody that's just talking talking and holding your head, and so I'm gonna write a song about that. And then I'm singing it, I'm the face of it, and like, seriously, I saw like a treatment from my music video for Wasting Time is coming out, and I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, people are gonna think this is me. People are gonna think I'm just so egotistical that I'm just like, fuck you, I'm wasting your time, fuck you, bitch. Like, oh my god. But
I feel like that happens a lot, probably more than we know.
Yeah.
It's like people are like, oh, this artist is singing about something, and you think it's coming from the heart, but really somebody else wrote the song for them, or like you wrote it about
someone else,
someone you met
and
once.
It's literally my perspective on someone else's life, like whether it's true, whether it's not true. Like, I feel like, and like throughout time, since writing that song's been about a bunch of people for me. Like, it's not even really about one person. You know, I feel like I can relate a lot of experiences with that.
One size fits all on a lot of freaking people.
But that was my plan with the song. I wanted you to hate it or love it. I wanted you to be like, I'm the waste of time, or I hate people that waste my time.
Sometimes it's good to be a little polarizing too. Like, kind of just be like, this is what it is. Put it out there. Let people judge it for what it is.
Yeah. I mean, this is what my... Truth be told, as DaDadoh, this is like what I don't even know, 10th, 8th project, right?
Yeah.
Mixtapes, demos, EPs, full-length albums. I've run out of shit to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've run out, my perspective's out there, so I really want to tell stories now that I feel that people can gravitate towards and relate towards and connect to.
That's awesome.
And Wasting Time, you're either gonna hate it or you're gonna love it. The video is gonna be like that too. The video is very, very much gonna be like that.
That's awesome. Well,
and I'm taking less of a hands-on approach.
Yeah.
I just give loose concepts. I trust my director. It's gonna be directed by Xantho Girl, aka Rosa.
Okay.
We did Do It together.
Exciting.
So that was the last
you're
time
already
we worked
comfy with each other.
Yeah, we really, really are. And
nice.
if you just check out the Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Where can everyone find all your stuff is what I was going to say next.
Literally, I'm DaDadoh. Like, literally, DaDadoh. Everything that's under that is just me. Awesome. There was somebody that was trying to sneak in, but it didn't work out.
We had to kill him. But
it didn't work out for him.
I'll make sure we put all your links in the description below so you guys can check out DaDadoh. Let's go support him, check out his music, and see what's going on.
We got cool merch and stuff going on right now. I got a baby Yadro. That's Pedro. That's baby Yoda.
Beautiful.
In the bassinet, the little floating bassinet. He's got his bass with him.
Perfect.
That's available right now. That's actually technically the first POC merch that was like ever really bad.
Collectible. So, pick it up, guys.
Everything else has always been DaDadoh. But yeah, that's the first super dope piece there. Video for Wasting Time. It'll be out February 26th. And the single is low-key out now. Go to Bandcamp. But if you want to wait till February 26th, it'll be worldwide after that.
Awesome.
And Hooligans. I'm going to do a couple more singles, too. I'm at least going to do 2 more singles. I got something really, really fucking special animated coming for Mother's Day.
Oh, okay.
Right? So what punk, rap, doing something for Mother's Day?
Yeah.
I'm here to just blaze trails.
That's
and...
awesome.
To break new ground, because we've seen a lot of stuff in hip-hop and rock.
Yeah.
I'm here to do new stuff in both of those.
You're bridging the gap.
I'm bridging the gap, and I'm also not defining, but I'm redefining.
I love that.
So that's the plan.
Brian?
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yes.
And remember to remain unfazed, guys, and like and subscribe if you haven't already. See ya.